Batman Beyond Season 2, Episode 17, titled Armory. Now, this episode is one of those episodes where, did it really need Terry? Did it really need be a Batman? I get it, you need Batman in your Batman Beyond show. What's the point having a show called Batman Beyond if you can't have Batman in the show in every episode? Because basically Terry's just there. Batman's just there just so we have some action sequences and so Batman can stop the villain. Because really, this is really focused on the villain. I mean, if you think about it, there are two type of episodes of this show. You got one that is focused on Terry and Bruce and him being Batman and all that kind of stuff. And then the other side of the show is focusing on the villain of the week. In this case, is Armory. The title of the episode is all about Jim Tate, and Jim Tate has a wonderful, for a 22 episode, and probably a character that we're never going to see again. He's really well put together. He's really well done. I mean, what the story is that you got Jim Tate, who, he's working for Wayne Powers. He's one of the greats. He has a beautiful fiance. He's about to marry soon with a wonderful stepson that he's going to join into his family. Everything feels wonderful for him. But then cutback seems to happen, and he is let go. And he's going everywhere. He's going every company that he could think of. And sadly, they're having to do the same thing, and they can't afford him. So he's in this limbo trying to find work. He's trying to find work and find possibilities. And there's this one guy who's like, what if you just steal the equipment for us? Take that from the old job, take it from there, take it from here, and make one big giant super weapon. Which we do see. We do see the work of this big giant super weapon. In the last 5 minutes of the episode. And that's what Jim does. Out of acidity and trying to have a roof over his head and him trying to be the beloved father and husband that he wants to be, he becomes Armory. He wants to, he basically becomes Armory, and it's a big heist. And basically Terry's there as an obstacle. He's there. It's mostly Terry's there just so he has something to fight. So we have some action sequences out through, and the action sequences are quite neat. Even though the second one felt a little bit repetitive because it's literally roughly the same. It's literally just Batman or Terry McGinnis just on this van that Armory is having. He's staying in his van, and Armory's shooting all the time, trying to get and waving the truck, the van around, trying to get Terry or get Batman off the van. And I'm like, okay, this feels a little repetitive outside the whole electricity gun thing, which he uses again later in the episode, which is like, okay. But what you have here is that theme of what would you do to secure stability? What would you do to hold yourself, what would you do to protect your family? And if protecting means having a roof over their heads and having food on the table, yes, the stepson, Jared Tate, he's at the beginning just upbeat. He's like, hey, he's knocking fists and being very friendly towards Terry and backed up, supporting characters out for the show, and later he's a bit distant. He's a bit sour because he knows something's off. Something's a bit wrong with Jim, and it's just really well put together. I mean, the final action sequence, it's there. So once again, you have the thing about superhero storytelling, there is a certain box that needs to be ticked, right? And I think for a Saturday morning cartoon at the time, there's a certain tick that needs to happen. You need a big giant action sequence at the end. And honestly, probably even probably if it was here's a story in Gotham about this. This was going on. Maybe you have a action sequence with Batman, right? With Terry. Maybe have that. Then and then the rest of the episode where Al comes out, and then it's essentially you just do Tales of Gotham. And here's the story. But again, it could be like, you know, once again, Warner Brothers, would be like, or, the quote Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park, and was like, so sorry, you're going to have Batman in your Batman show, right? Right? So it could be easy to be that. It could be in the sense like, hey, kids want to see Batman, so give them Batman, But, but it should be like something like POV, but technically Batman's barely in it. It's one of those episodes where the man killed Batman. It feels like the Batman less episodes, where it's like because it's the story itself is so personal. It feels not real, but you feel the length of what Jim's going to do to make sure there's a roof over his head toward his family and stability. Um, but yeah, I just this is really well put together. It's just one of those situations where like this is what I would do and this is what the episode was. But you understand there's these box ticks that needs to happen out through essentially out through the series.